Let's talk about what's been happening in Afghanistan, where the Australian government has been working hard behind the scenes. We've told you that before, about 1,800 people who are the interpreters and all the others that have worked in and around the ADF and security forces. They've been brought out. Another 450 have come out. This was what was announced today by the Prime Minister.
We have been able, over the course of the last few days, and I can't go into too much detail about this, but working with other countries and continuing to do that, to expand the ways we're being able to process people, to get more people into the airport and on the planes. We will continue to do that in partnership with our allies.
There is, as you will have seen from public reporting, a discussion going on about the prospect of the United States extending its withdrawal deadline. We are part of those discussions, and if they are to be extended, we are absolutely ready to support a continuing operation at Hamid Karzai International Airport.
For his part, Jim Molan told us this last night that there is a positive story coming out of Afghanistan in terms of the removal of those who would like to eventually get to Australia.
I spent the last 4 days or so dealing with ministers, staffers, officials and refugees. And I've got to say that in the end, despite a lot of complaining, some by veterans, that I think we will have a good story to tell on this.
And for his part, the man who, of course, agreed for Australia to join our longest war back in 2001, John Howard had this to say about the way, particularly the United States, pulled the pin the way they did about a week and a bit ago.
Was it absolutely essential to withdraw every last soldier by a given date? I don't think that was necessary. There was no reason why a very much smaller force could not have been left there for an indeterminate time, and that would have prevented some of the negative images that have clearly come out of Afghanistan and could well have emboldened the Afghan army.
Sam, the government's been doing this behind the scenes for a long period of time. They have been bringing hundreds of people out, and now what few were remaining, including the up to 200 that were the ones that people have heard about a lot on this channel. They are on their way out, if not have already been taken out. Thankfully, the early days of this operation hasn't been met by terrorist fire from the suburbs or anything like that. But the issue, of course, is can you get to Kabul airport to be able to get out of the country?
Yeah, I think that was Maurice Payne we heard earlier. I don't have the visual,
yes, you did.
Saying it should be extended. I agree, and I agree with John Howard saying that such a hard end to operations seems unnecessary at this point. You know, I think we can get into it if you want. I think it's unfair to lay all the blame for this at Joe Biden's feet. I think every single president, all the way back to Reagan, has some sort of role and some sort of blame to play in this. But yeah, absolutely, I think they're pulling out too hard. It's a humanitarian crisis that's unfolding, before our eyes. I also have to say, Matt Canavan running around tweeting and acting the troll on Twitter, trying to cause a stir. It's not helpful, Paul. It's just not helpful.